In this video, we talk about the differences amongst tax-free, tax-deferred, and margin accounts. And if you shall stick around until the end of the video, I will share with you my thought process on how I decide if a certain equity is best to be bought under TFSA, RRSP, or margin accounts. Hello everyone, this is Ricey, and in this channel, we talk about personal finance, investing, and the various ways we can grow our wealth here in Canada. So if you want more information such as this, please do not forget to hit the like and the subscribe button. The first account we will talk about is a tax-free account, and the perfect example is TFSA, or a tax-free savings account. As a matter of fact, I have discussed or talked about TFSA in my past videos, but on a general sense, any Canadian resident that has an SIN or the social insurance number and is 18 years and older can open a TFSA account. Now, there are advantages and disadvantages to investing under TFSA. One of the disadvantages is that, or one major disadvantage really is that if you contribute under your TFSA, whatever contribution you put under TFSA, this money is not deducted from your net taxable income. Therefore, it does not lower your taxable income that you pay to the government. That is one. But the advantage of investing under TFSA is that all your gains under the TFSA account are not taxed in Canada. That is, if you hold Canadian stocks within TFSA, you are not taxed on whatever gains you have under that account. But the disadvantage is that if you hold a US stock that pays dividend under your TFSA, then your dividend gains or your dividends that is paid to you by the US company will be taxed at 15% withholding tax by the US government. And this 15% is an amount of money that you can never recover. Tax deferred, on the other hand, is delaying the taxes that you pay on your investments. Perfect example again is RRSP. RRSP has got its advantages and disadvantages as well. When you contribute money under your RRSP account, whatever you contribute on your RRSP account, this amount of money is deducted from your annual income, and therefore it lowers your net taxable income. If it lowers your net taxable income, it therefore allows you to keep more money for yourself. RRSP is considered as a retirement plan or a retirement account in the US, and therefore whatever gains, it doesn't matter if it's capital gains or dividends that you earn from your investments, those are not taxed in the US and here in Canada. But the disadvantage is that the moment you withdraw money from your RRSP account, then you are taxed. That's why it's called tax deferred. You essentially just defer or delay the taxes that you pay until such time that you withdraw money from this account. Nevertheless, you have the full opportunity to grow your investments under RRSP if you do not have the requirement or the need to withdraw money from your RRSP account, and then it will just keep on growing your wealth. And the third kind of account are margin accounts. Margin accounts are taxable accounts, and therefore whatever profit, gains, distribution, or dividends that you gain or get from a margin account, all of this are taxed. There is no tax shelter under margin accounts. And so the strategy is you have to maximize your TFSA first and then your RRSP, or whichever you're comfortable with. In my case, I maximize my TFSA first and then I maximize my RRSP, and then when I have maximized both those accounts, then I invest under margin account. There are many factors that you have to consider before you decide, or before deciding on which kind of equity or stocks you will buy under which kind of account. One common question that I always come across with is that, what if I have maximized my RRSP and still I want to buy a certain US stock? Is it best to put it under TFSA? And the answer to this question really is it depends. You have to consider, again, as I mentioned a while ago, that dividends under TFSA are taxed at 15%, and this 15% can add up over the years. This 15% you will never see the shadow of, and you will never recover this. Normally, under TFSA, at least to my own strategy, what I buy under TFSA are investments or stocks that are growth stocks but do not pay dividends. In such a case, I do not have to worry about dividend taxation by the US government. A great example of this is Amazon. Amazon is a good growth stock that does not pay dividend. In such a case, you can benefit from the capital gains of an Amazon stock, and at the same time, you do not have to worry about capital gains taxation because capital gains are only taxed here in Canada and they are not taxed in the US. Another advantage of capital gains is that only 50% of your capital gains is taxed. I actually did a video about how taxes work in Canada. If you want to know more information about it, please watch it after this video. So now the next question is, what if you are not comfortable with stocks? What if you are more of a person who wants to diversify and hold a pool of equities in your portfolio? And this is absolutely okay because many people are not comfortable with stocks, and that's absolutely fine. And therefore, you do have the option to invest on ETFs or exchange traded funds or even index funds, really. And one thing that I want to advise you guys is as much as possible, do not invest on mutual funds. And there are many ETFs listed in the Toronto Stock Exchange that has US holdings. Now, the idea is the same. If you hold this ETFs under your TFSA and this pool of funds or this ETF essentially pays dividends, it is the same idea that the government of US will withhold 15% of the dividends. It doesn't matter if you hold directly under your TFSA direct stocks or even if you hold ETFs that then holds US stocks that trade on TSX. It doesn't matter as long as the funds that you hold are paying dividends and it is a US stock, and then you will be charged 15% the withholding tax by the US government. So to wrap up this video, there are three main takeaways here. The first one is that maximize your tax sheltered accounts first, your TFSA, then your RSP, and then, only then, should you invest on margin accounts. The second takeaway is that it makes sense to invest in the US stock market, most especially if you buy the equities under RRSP. And the third key takeaway is that if you are a kind of person who does not have the time to evaluate companies, investing on ETFs is always a good option for your index funds, really. These are good and safe options for any investor. So tune in on my next video as we will dive deep into the nits and bits of TFSA and how you can maximize, or how we can maximize, the benefits of TFSA. And let me know in the comments below, how do you maximize, or what kinds of equities do you hold under your TFSA and your RSP and margin accounts? And I'm certainly happy to exchange ideas with you.